awa ang kang kuan tanawa. I don't know unsa man nakay lights above nimo no.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, so
How
I
your lights
think.
on? And I'm using light on, but it's bright.
Yeah, no, because I have a light on top. Let me turn it off.
Pili imong light. Use there are 3 lights man, di ba? Use the.
Hi,
Yeah,
Ricky.
wait.
Hi, Rick. Evening.
There.
Hello,
Smile
Attorney
sa
Ging. Hello,
ikaw
Go.
naging. Smile
Hello,
sa
Tanan.
Asan si Ricky? Hi, Rick.
Hello, Go. Hello, Attorney. Hello, Ma'am Maricel.
Hi. Nice to have you.
Hello, Pres Bernard. And hello, Sir
Hi,
Ken.
hi. DPC, Ricky.
Hello,
Brad
Ma'am
Ken,
Lola.
good evening. Brad Ken.
Smile sa. Sige. Ging, ikaw naging. Smile.
Ako
Hello,
sa...
AJ Alin.
There you
Hello,
go.
Sir Roddy.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Top.
Eric. Basta naman ka.
Okay.
Oh, makuha, Ging. Sorry, Ging.
Sorry. Sige.
Again. Smile. Ging, smile, Ging.
Yes, I'm smiling.
Where are you?
Pang.
I'm smiling.
Okay, thanks, Sel.
Si Juan. Si
7:19, 7:19. Any minute, our guest speaker will come in. She said she's coming in at 7:20.
Okay.
I know, pero man.
President Emmy.
Yes. Okay na?
Okay na?
Yes.
President Emmy, I see your classmate, Janelle of RC, Cebu Fort San Pedro.
Cebu Fort
Janelle.
Center.
Yes.
Hi,
And Manila Metro, Michael.
Hi, Janelle.
Hi, Attorney John.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Kami,
Hindi kami
Good evening,
prepared.
Giselle.
Janelle, picture na lagi na.
Maikog ko, tita.
Kasi maupay pagmata ni Attorney Janelle. Hi,
Long time no
John.
see, Nel.
Hello.
Ah, there. Okay. Smile, Janelle.
We also have a guest from Michael is from Banilad Metro.
Yeah,
Manila Metro, yes.
Director Michael.
Hi, Michael. Welcome.
Hi, Mike.
Our daughter
Hi,
Claudia.
everyone.
No, Manila Metro, no.
Yes,
think.
Manila Metro.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, this naman si Juan from Scrub.
Brad Ken, gimingaw naman ko nimo, Brad.
Hi, Ken.
Hi.
Kendrick!
Your smile
Hello.
is wide, so
Si
wide.
Dick, oh, murag picture lang si Dick.
The smile.
Pe, kailangan talagang turuan mo na rin ako maglagay ng picture.
Smile, Emmy.
Dili Sir Emmy para diha ra jud ka.
Hindi na ka mo gawas. I don't know, something wrong with my. Sorry, can't get your picture.
The virtual background is very nice. If you look at the gallery, looks nice.
Wala ko makuha yung mga pictures.
Sir Joel, seryoso kayo, Sir Joel.
Uy, si Dick, uy, kagalang-galang kay si Dick. Ano ni si Dick? Asa ka, Dick? Asa ka?
Good evening, Mr. Radi.
Uy, Joel. Uy, mga
Hi,
congressman.
Hi, Gov Rizal.
Hi,
Good evening, Gov Rizal.
Maricel, Joel.
And we have Assistant
Hi,
Governor
Gov Riz.
Amor and Elaine.
Good evening, Gov.
Good
Good evening, Gov.
Good evening, Gov.
Good evening, classmate Edward.
Bro, Joel.
President Edward Gaisano is in the house.
Oh.
Hi. How are you?
Gabi
Hi,
da,
Doc
Sir
Edward.
Joel.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Hi, Red.
Good evening.
Hi, Gabi.
Hi, Edward.
Good evening.
Let me fix first my.
Evening.
I'm not
President
very
Edward.
familiar with it.
Elaine.
okay.
Elaine.
Hi, Doc Edward.
Torres.
Hello. Oy, kumusta?
Hi, Edward.
Nice to see you again, Doc.
Hello, hello. Hey, go.
Hi, President Edward.
Hi, good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening.
Hi, Press
Wow.
Ed.
Believe ko ni mo, Amy, you got the governor in your meeting, huh?
Serena.
How did you invite, huh?
Yung governor din pare ang pina-invite ko eh.
Thank you, thank you. Bili ko ni Sir Amy.
Sir Edward, thank you for coming.
No, pleasure is mine.
Very good.
We'll do our joint one of these days, Sir Amy.
Yes, Sir Edward, ang ating namang speaker is si Secretary Briones sa ating basic literacy joint natin yon, joint meeting natin, President Edward.
What is Briones doing right now? Which position is she holding?
Secretary of Education.
Education siya. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, very tough right now.
Oh, with the problem right now in the connectivity of the far-flung areas, problema talaga siya ngayon.
President M, when do you intend to invite the good secretary?
Come again?
When do you intend? President Ed, good evening.
Evening.
Attorney Ging here. Yeah, when do you intend to invite her, considering that you plan to have a joint meeting with the Mother Club? When do you plan to do it?
September
Before
7.
Sila.
Education.
Si Amy ang ano.
Okay, pero not before the opening of the planned
school year?
opening of classes. Yeah, because
No.
okay.
Kasi-
I thought you will have her before the opening. It might be very relevant to have the good secretary before the opening.
Yeah,
So you'll
tiniming
have her
kasi namin
September?
doon sa Basic Literacy Month,
Okay.
which is September.
Okay, good. AG Amor is also here, huh? Amor,
Amor, how are you?
Yeah, my very supportive AG, my very supportive AG is in town. Is in the
Good evening,
the
Go
house.
Breeze.
Good evening, Gov. Good evening.
Good evening.
Govris, good evening, Govris. Hi.
Good evening.
Evening, Govris.
Good evening, Marcel.
We also have
AG
AG,
Jet
Assistant
Bernardo
Governor
is
Jet.
also here.
Doc Jet is
AG
here.
Jet.
Huh?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hi, Jet.
Hi, Go.
We also have
Jet, long time no see,
Secretary
Jet, huh?
Emmanuel Hernandez of RC Manila Metro.
Hello. How are you?
I am.
Ladies, Rotarians, Barbara is in the house.
Hi, Barbara.
Yes.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello.
Hi, Barbara.
We're just warming up, Barbara, so don't mind us. Don't mind us. We'll start at exactly in about 4 minutes from now, Barbara.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
So don't mind us. We're just chatting here.
Yep.
Okay. So kana ba para di siya makuan, mahadlok. So
Hi, Barbara. How are you?
hello.
How was your flight to the Philippines?
Oh, it was perfect.
Did you have a good flight to the Philippines?
Oh, wonderful. The best ever.
So where are you in quarantine now?
We have in the house DGR-PR of District 30 790, Susan Siday. Hi, Susan. Nag-freeze siya. Wave, mother, wave.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
To the
There's
mother,
the
the mother of
My
Mayan.
mother in District 3790.
Good evening.
Evening.
Hello,
Good
Susan.
And all
to
the
see you
way.
here.
Stop, Gabriel. Hi.
Hi.
All the way in Korea, we have our president nominee, Secretary Oli Jang.
Okay.
Oli, 안녕하세요.
Crash landing on you.
Crash landing.
감사합니다.
Samida.
Kamsamida.
감사합니다.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Barbara, thumbs up. Are we good? We'll be starting. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Consider 35 ko dan.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Rotarians. Welcome to Rotary Club Cebu Puente 5th General Membership Meeting. May I call in the two handsome gentlemen, past President Radia Barintos and past President Dave, to host for tonight. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you, President Emmy. While waiting for my partner, my co-host, past President Dave, I'd like to say good evening.
Good evening. Fresh from the cave. Welcome.
So, President Dave would like also to say good evening and hello to all fellow Rotarians and dignitaries of RCCF District 3860. At this point, since everybody's here, and President Dave, shall we get started?
Sure. We'd just like to request everyone to put their mics on mute. All right.
Thank you. So we begin with an audio-visual presentation of invocation, and this will be followed by the Australian National Anthem, then the Philippine National Anthem, and the Rotary Hymn.
Dearest Lord, teach me to be generous. Teach me to serve you as I should. To give and not to count the cost. To fight and not to heed the wounds. To toil and not to seek for rest. To labor and ask not for reward. Save that of knowing that I do your most holy Dear, teach me to be generous. Teach me to serve you as I should. To give and not to count the cost. To fight and not to heed the wounds. To toil and not to seek for rest. To labor and ask not for reward. Save that of knowing that gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath the radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this of the vows renowned of all the lands. For those who come on all combine to advance Australia. Let us sing, advance Australia
Okay, next part of our program is the reciting of our four tests. I'd like to call on our club administration director, to lead us in the reciting of our four-way tests and objects of Rotary. Rotarian Jason?
The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular, to encourage and foster. First, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. Second, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. Fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through World Fellowship of Business and Professional Persons united in the ideal of service.
Thank you, Director Jason. To formally welcome us all tonight, we have our President, President Emmy Casalona, of the Rotary Club of Cebu Fuente.
Emmy, unmute.
That's the word of the new normal. Please unmute your mic, please.
Okay. Governor Rizal, Ms. Barbara Mipsod, Past District Governor Mayan Solomon, Past District Governor Yumi Spina, District Governor nominee Ann Bumagat, protocol observed, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight, we are very lucky to have our guest speaker, the Regional Membership Officer for Zone 8, Rotary International South Pacific and Philippines, to speak on the topic membership in changing times. In time for our membership month. As early as June 2020, PDG Mayan already suggested inviting Ms. Mipsud to inspire not only our club, but also the whole district to increase membership and minimize attrition. This is in response to the Rotary International findings that the number of Rotarians did not grow for quite some time. To address this pressing issue, our speaker will discuss tonight the roadmap to manage club membership. Fellow Rotarians, guests, sit back, relax, and let's listen to our guest speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Emmy.
Thank you, President Emmy. We are very lucky indeed as the Rotary Club of Cebu Fuente takes pride in having a Rotary International officer as our guest speaker. At this point, may I ask our End Polio now Zone Coordinator of Zone 10A, our past District Governor Mayan
President Rodney. But before that, we introduce and acknowledge our guests and visiting Rotarians. Okay, so to start with, of course, you heard President Emmy Tesalona of our Rotary Club of Cebu Fuente earlier, and we have our guest speaker who will be properly introduced later, Director Barbara Mifsud. We also have for tonight our District Governor Rodel Reyes. We have also two past district governors who happen to be from our club, past District Governor Joseph Michael Yumi Espina and past District Governor May-Ann Alcordo Solomon, who happens to be the End Polio Now Zone Coordinator. We also have the District Governor-elect, the person of District Governor-elect Ana Luis Bumagat. We also have our district governor representative for the Philippine Rotary Magazine and also the district stewardship subcommittee chair, Caroline Andrade. Then we have District Polio Plus Subcommittee Chair and also the District Institute Convention Promotion Chairman, Enrique Andres. We have the District Grant Subcommittee Chair, Vincent Edward Ang. And we also have our district, for the District 3790, District Governor's Representative for the Philippine Rotary Magazine, Susan Suday. We also have immediate past District Secretary Barbon Lamonique. And for our clubs, for Zone 1A, we have Assistant Governor Marjorie Ann Bernardo. For the Rotary Club of Cebu Mother Club, we have President Edward Gaisano. Representing Rotary Club of Metro Cebu, immediate past President Candy Cusi. For the Rotary Club of Manila Metro, we have Secretary Emmanuel Hernandez and Director Michael Inad. For the Rotary Club of Cebu Midtown, President Florante Alinabon. For Assistant Governor, for Zone 1D, we have Assistant Governor Amor Tumakin. For the Rotary Club of Cebu Fort San Pedro, the Early Birds, President Maria Janelle Miral and President nominee Aniana Briones. We also have the Assistant Governor from Zone 1F, Romeo Balaba. Let's also welcome our Rotary actors and of course our spouses. Now, since we are in the new normal or an evolution of the new normal, to those of you who were not acknowledged, please tap your devices and raise your hand. Then once you raise your hand, I'd like everyone to clap, or is it applause? Is it applause? Okay. Then after that, our dear apologies for trying our best, but this is the new normal. So welcome and thank you and enjoy the evening. President Rad.
Yeah, thank you, President Dave. So welcome everyone. Again, to call and introduce our guest speaker for tonight is the Zone and Polio Now Zone Coordinator, Zone past District Governor, May-Ann Alcordo Solomon, to introduce our guest speaker. Please,
nakamute.
Did you read my lips? I'm just kidding. I was saying good night, good day, and if I said it right, thumbs up, Barbara, good day. Our speaker tonight graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication and a Master's of Arts in International Studies. She loves to travel, especially around South America. She has spent many years, of course, comes with a lot of money and a lot of time studying Spanish. Hola, buenas noches. But learning the language is not easy. She likes old movies, art house, and world cinema. She is interested in architecture and heritage, Her friends complain that her Instagram is filled with pictures of old buildings. There's a lot of old buildings in the Philippines, Barbara. Come to Cebu, we'll show you a lot from the north to the south. She enjoys bush walking around the lovely spots of Sydney and intermediate yoga. Good for her. She's already in the intermediate. I'm not even in the beginner's yoga. But let me tell you about her personal advocacies. She has been a Toastmaster for 2 years, and she believes in the organizational ethos of empowering others through communication and leadership skills. She is a mentor for a new club member and has coordinated the club's speechcraft, which is Introduction to Public Speaking. And she is a great advocate of volunteering in the community and regularly volunteers with nearby Rotary clubs. She has also volunteered for a number of years with the Sydney Latin American Film Festival and the Sydney Living Museums, formerly Historic Houses Trust. She also taught English to newly arrived migrants. On the Rotary side, our speaker has worked for Rotary International for 9 years. She started as coordinator, club and district support, where she trained and supported club and district leaders using Rotary online resources, RI board policies, and RI constitutional documents, as well as administrative procedures such as chartering new clubs, club merges, and processing district governor expenses. Thank you for processing my governor expenses in 2017. Barbara has over 15 years experience working with various not-for-profit organizations in volunteer management, including leading Australian Blindness Agency and Refugee Resettlement Program. She has qualifications in communications and international studies. Our guest speaker works at the Rotary International South Pacific and Philippines office in Parramatta, Australia, as the regional membership officer for zones 8 and 10, and she supports clubs and districts in Australia, New Zealand, and Pacific Islands with their membership initiatives. She provides advice on membership strategies such as club assessments, attraction, retention, and engagement, new member orientation, and new club development. She also assists with reports and data resources and collecting best practice stories. We've met years back in Kota Kinabalu when I attended my district governor nominee training, and I believe then District Governor Rizal was with me together with District Governor Philip and District Governor-elect then Buddy Estudillo and incoming District Secretary Lilo. So you see, we've gone that far, and I met Barbara again at the International Assembly during my training as Governor-elect in 2016. That's right, 2016 in San Diego. And since then, we've not lost touch. She's in Facebook, she's in Messenger, and also she's a text away. My singular honor and my distinct privilege to introduce a friend, ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Mifsud. Please unmute and let Barbara hear the resounding applause. Please unmute yourself now.
Barbara.
Well, after that, now you're more relaxed, Barbara. I will mute them also. Mute yourself now. Thank you. Take it away, Barbara.
Thank you, PDG, man. That was a very lovely introduction. And yes, I'm feeling pretty much relaxed, yeah, especially after that long plane ride, as you mentioned before. Yep. So thank you very much. I'm just going to share my screen, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. So it won't be a minute. So can everybody see my screen? Just thumbs up. Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Thank
Excellent. You. Thank you. Perfect. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for the invitation. And I guess that is one of the, one of the added benefits, or one of the things that I can be grateful of for the global pandemic. And, at least I get to travel to Cebu. I've never been to Cebu, so I'm very happy to be there, even if it is just virtually. So yes, good day from Australia, Mabuhay. Well, firstly, I wanted to wish you all a happy membership month. And as you know, August is the month where we celebrate our greatest assets, our organisation's greatest assets, which are our members. And that really is you. So I'd just like to say thank you for all that you do, because I know that each and every one of you gives of your time and your talents generously. So, so thank you to all of you. And I guess, now more than ever, the world really does need Rotary. And in the last couple of months, COVID-19 really has presented us with some challenges in our everyday lives and also as an organisation. And I think for Rotary clubs, that it really has affected the way that we meet, the way that we define engagement, and how we provide service to our local and our international communities. And, the disruption to the way that we normally do things, however, has brought about some unexpected opportunities and also opportunities for innovation as well. And if anything, it really has forced us to examine our relationship to membership. And I think one thing that we all can agree on is really that, when our membership is strong, our clubs are more vibrant, Rotary has greater visibility out there in the community, and our members really have more resources to help out the communities that we do intend to serve. So I guess there's 4 things that I really wanted to achieve tonight, and the first one is just really to sort of give a bit of a background about me and what I do, but I guess I won't spend that much time on it because Mayanne has already covered that anyways. Secondly, is just really to provide a bit of an overview of our membership trends and research. I don't really want to spend too much time on that, but it's just really to set a bit of a backdrop of our current strengths and our challenges. And those worldwide trends impact us, even at a club level. So, it is important for us to have a bit of a look at our trends and our data. And thirdly, we'll just have a look at some of the effects that COVID-19 has been having on the organisation from a membership point of view. So we'll not only touch on some of the challenges, which I'm sure we're all pretty much familiar with, but also highlight some of those opportunities that we have been seeing. And then just lastly, we'll have a look at some of the areas for you to consider in order to strengthen your club as we navigate through these changing times. What are some of the things that we can do? So along the way, I'm just going to point you to some useful Rotary International resources that can help. So just really quickly, a bit about myself, and like I said, I won't say too much because Mayanne pretty much covered it anyway. So I do work at the Parramatta office, and there's 12 of us in the office there. We're always helping out with a whole range of different things. Could be club invoices, or it could be policy, or it could be communications. But yeah, I basically look after, as I'm a staff contact for clubs and districts for membership matters. We are all, working from home because of, the whole COVID thing, but you still are able to contact us, in the normal way. Also, too, I guess I wanted to mention that I'm also part of a global membership development team. So out of the 700 or so staff that we have worldwide, there's about 20 of us that are working in membership development. And so there's some of us that are working forward facing, as in we're assisting Rotarians, and there are some of us that are working behind the scenes on things like developing resources, conducting research, and also analysing data as well. So on a day-to-day basis, I'm really helping out with three things, as Mayan has mentioned. So it's strategy, so thinking about attraction, retention, or new club development, or it could be club flexibility. Also looking at reports and data. And I guess, again, the emphasis on the reports and data is only to help you make evidence-based decisions about where you want your membership to go, what membership strategies you are going to have. And then also resources. And there are a whole range of resources that are coming out from Rotary International. And it's really just to, help clubs and districts, find their way and point them to the resources that are going to help them achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. And, I guess, there is no one size fits all for membership. So it is, sort of pointing you in the right direction. And as well, as Mayan had also mentioned, looking at best practice and sharing stories. And that's, it's really important, I think, at this time as clubs are having to adapt, pivot so swiftly. And we are hearing some really wonderful things that are coming out from clubs and districts. So it's just making sure that people know what other people are doing so they can get ideas about things to do. So that's really, that's me and my background. I guess what I really wanted to emphasise is that there are, Rotary International is really committed to our number one internal priority, which is membership, and making sure that clubs and districts have those resources to support this internal priority. So we've got polio as our external facing priority, but then membership is our internal facing priority. So I guess I just now wanted to have a look at some of the membership trends and as a way really just to understand the challenges and opportunities that we do have as an organisation. So very quickly, we do have over 36,000 clubs, and starting new clubs is an important part of membership development because it really does expand our reach and it increases our capacity for service. And you can see, we've been quite successful in creating new clubs over this last year. And we currently have 1.175 million Rotarians. So the 1st of July number, the 1st of July figures, the official figures have been released already. So we have hovered around that 1.2 million mark for a number of years. And with that 1.175, it does represent a bit of a loss, which is about 1.2%. But I think it wasn't as bad as, as I guess the experts in the strategy team were predicting during this global pandemic. Most of our members are aged between 50 to 69, though, the definite figures are a bit hard to gauge because over 30% of our members don't provide their ages to Rotary International. But we do know that, younger professionals only make up a small percentage of our current membership, and they are one of a number of underrepresented demographic. And women make up 23% of our members, which has been an increase. But women still are underrepresented, particularly in leadership positions at every level of Rotary. And of course, that, there's differences around the globe. But the Rotary International Board of Directors have set a goal for women to make up 30% of our members and our leaders by June 2023. And Rotary International is also committed to diversity, equity and inclusion, and we have adopted a DEI statement. And I think that's really important considering some of the conversations that have been going on all around the world. But DEI is not really only about making sure that underrepresented groups like younger people or women or people from different backgrounds become members, but it's also about making sure that all of our members feel valued and respected and heard. So let's just quickly have a look at the trends within the Philippines, just as a bit of a comparison. So Philippines has 922 clubs, and we have a net gain of 26 clubs this last year. So that's really great in the sense that we are developing new clubs in the Philippines. And there are over 25,000 Rotarians, which is a net increase as well. And, you know, the Philippines is probably one of those select number of, you know, sort of regions where membership does seem to be growing. Number of women in the region is higher than around the world, and so too, you know, younger professionals. And just talking about Rotaractors on a worldwide scale, we have about 200,000 reported Rotaractors and about 10,000 clubs, and about 50% of the Rotaract members are women. So that's a pretty, you know, that's an interesting statistic. So we also, you know, we also have research about we also have research about you know, attraction and retention as well. And one thing we do know as a worldwide organization is that we really don't have a problem with attraction. In fact, we roughly lose the same amount of people each year as that we attract. So really retention is an issue for the organization as a whole. So half of those members who have left had been Rotarians for less than 3 years. And the figure's pretty, you know, even more confronting when we look at the Philippines in general, with 72% of members leaving within that first 1 to 2 years. We've also done some research about why people want to join Rotary and why do they stay. So what do you think would be the top 3 reasons why people want to join Rotary? Does anybody want to have a bit of a shout out? If you want to unmute yourself or you want to type something in the comments. No.
Fellowship. That's one thing.
Fellowship. Yeah. Yes. Does anybody else want to have a go at what do you think the top 3 reasons? What some of the reasons are that people want to join Rotary for?
To give back to the community.
Give back to the community. Yes. Anything else? It's a bit hard for me to see everybody, so yeah, you feel free just to, you know, to shout out. But anyways, so the top 3 reasons for why people want to join Rotary is local service, and then the global service, personal growth, and learning. So they're the top 3 reasons why people are joining. So why people are staying is interesting. The reasons why people stay in Rotary is 1, local service, and then connecting with others. So that's with other people outside of their normal social circles or their, you know, business or professional circles. And then it's also friendship and fellowship. So that's, you know, the top 3 there. So I think it's interesting that local service is, you know, a top membership driver for both joining and also for staying. And whereas friendship and fellowship really is something that we come to value the longer that we actually stay in Rotary as well. So we've also, you know, done research about why is it that people leave? And we know that, you know, 30% of people cite cost and time as reasons for leaving Rotary. But if we put together a club environment and unmet expectations, that's over, you know, 40%, 42%. So that is, you know, that is a lot, you know, that's something for us to really to think about, because that's basically, you know, saying that we need to be listening to our members. We need to be a vibrant club. We need to be a healthy club in order to not only attract our members, but also to retain our members as well. So I'm just going to have a bit of a look now about Rotary, you know, what's happening during COVID and what has been some of the opportunities for us, as well as some of the challenges that COVID has been presenting. Really, the two biggest membership concerns of COVID-19 is the effect on our member engagement and also on service. And of course, you know, those two issues are going to always be linked together. They're inextricably linked. So member engagement, really, if members aren't meeting physically in the usual location or attending meetings or social gatherings, there is this potential for members to feel disconnected and disengaged, and for, you know, for people to reconsider their membership, particularly in this, you know, sort of this changing, you know, in environment. And also service. You know, many clubs and districts, you know, their service projects or fundraising activities are either being cancelled or postponed or rethought. And I'm pretty sure you're aware of that as well. And as we have seen, you know, top drivers for staying and joining in Rotary include giving back to the community. So, you know, like that is going to be affected by COVID. So is our connection to others and fellowship and personal growth and development. But, you know, we have seen some positives and silver linings that are coming out of the situation. So in terms of, you know, member engagement, we have seen a lot of clubs going online, using Zoom and Skype, and also this development of skills, you know, Zoom by members, or fast tracking use of technology and increased social media. And then we also have seen more opportunities for us to connect with Rotary friends around the world, as we are tonight, to join other meetings and without having to travel, and to hear speakers that we probably wouldn't. It's been very exciting, I think, especially with the virtual convention as well. What has happened with you know, the technology. And in some cases, we've also seen increase in meeting attendance as well, because clubs are seeing it as an opportunity to reconnect with members who they may not have seen, or to reach out to past members, and also to reach out to other clubs within the cluster or within the district and so forth. And we have seen clubs rethinking membership, meeting frequency and format, and, you know, really coming to enjoy the online format, or to consider having a you know, sort of blended type of meeting, like a hybrid meeting, or to alternate different types of meeting depending on the situation on the ground. I guess, you know, the service piece really has been the more tricky thing during COVID. But we have seen many examples of clubs and districts responding to, you know, local and international needs, or pivoting service projects and fundraisers. Our number one concern has always been, you know, looking after our members, and we really have seen clubs doing this. So they may be relying on a welfare officer, or you know, having ring-arounds, technology buddies. We've also, you know, seen clubs reaching out to members who have, you know, been affected by COVID, either, you know, through loss of family or friend, or job loss and so forth. But we have seen clubs, you know, around the world, you know, doing many wonderful things like cooking meals for the vulnerable, sewing masks, creating online cooking classes, pivoting the fundraisers that they have. as well as applying for or donating to the Rotary International Disaster Response Fund. So that's just a bit of an idea about some of the things that have been happening to COVID during COVID. So I also just wanted to touch on really what are some of the things that you can do as a club to grow Rotary and also to strengthen your club during these times. And one thing we should remember, as President Holder-Knack said in his theme address, is that instead of having strategies that are focusing solely on our numbers, because a lot of times, we hear about, Rotary and the membership numbers going up and down and so forth. So instead of focusing solely on strategies that only are for looking at the numbers, we should think about growing Rotary sustainably and organically. Because we've seen in the past those strategies that are just focusing on numbers really haven't really worked. So to me, I guess when we're talking about membership, particularly in context of supporting our existing clubs, we're really talking about vibrancy. So when we have a vibrant club, our membership does seem to be a byproduct of that. So what does it mean to be a vibrant club? Does anybody want to let me have have thoughts about what do you think it means to be a vibrant club? If anybody,
active club.
Being an active club, yes.
Have more energy and enthusiasm.
Energy, enthusiasm, definitely. Visible, we've also have in the chat from past President Dave.
One with sustainable projects.
Sustainable projects, yeah, that's a great one.
Keeping the
Great.
people in,
Pardon? Sorry?
Keeping the members engaged, the club engaged.
Keeping members engaged, yeah. And DG Anna had said on the chat, has the ability to adapt. Perfect, yeah. So for me, I think, oh yes, and we also have friendly environment. Perfect, totally agree with that one too. So for me, I think there's 4 characteristics of a vibrant club. And that's one that is engaging its members. So its current members, but also its potential members as well. It's also, a club that's conducting meaningful and impactful projects so that we remain relevant to our communities. It's one that's building awareness about what we do and reaching out to grow and diversify. And it's also having a willingness to adapt to changing needs and being innovative and flexible and trying new things. Yes, implementing new ideas as well. And in fact, these 4 characteristics align with the Rotary International's new strategic priorities and its plan, which are enhance participant engagement, increase our impact, expand our reach, and increase our ability to adapt. So I just wanted to ask you, thinking about your club and taking into account, this more holistic approach to membership and, in light of your recent experiences, I guess I wanted to just reflect on a couple of questions. So really, what is one thing that you love about your club? What's one thing that you love about your club? Does anybody want to answer?
Our camaraderie.
Your camaraderie.
Yes.
I can definitely tell you've got the camaraderie happening.
We're an active and working club.
You're an active and working club. Yep, you're always doing something. And that's something that you like. A lot of us share common interests. That's a good one. PG Man had said. Enthusiastic and innovative team. Peter Jumi says diversity. Working club. Good looks. Past President Dave. Yeah, you are a good-looking club. I can see. Perfect. Okay, so I think that's that's pretty good. You've got a few things that you like about your club. What about one thing that you would like to change about your club? Is there anything that you'd like to change? We've got refocus on vocational service. Thank you, Peter Jr. Past President Dave, even better looks. Okay. That could be an attraction strategy for you. Is there anything else that you'd like to see? To encourage more members to attend and engage in our activities and projects. We've also got focus mostly on projects. Also culture. It's an interesting one. DG Rizal, more fun. You can never have enough fun. Well, that's great. I mean, I appreciate you sharing with me something that you love about the club, and also something that you would like to change as well. And I think really that's just what we were doing now is a really important basis for strengthening our club. And that's really, reaching out to our members and asking, what it is that we like about our club that we can build on, and what are some of the things that we could perhaps, work on as well. That's really is, the basis of creating a really strong club. So we've got a couple of more comments coming through. More younger members, willingness to take on leadership roles. Collaboration, not competition. Yes. New ideas. So I guess I just wanted to just share with you 4 tips that I have for strengthening your club, and also for strengthening membership and growing membership as well. They are pretty, simple, and they can seem basics, but I do think that they are a building block for a strong and a vibrant club. So I'll just share those with you. So firstly is to take stock, to create a vision and a plan, focus on attraction and recruitment. Yes, that's important, but also not to forget retention as well. And we'll just go through those 4 things pretty quickly. So taking stock, and I think this is an underestimated strategy, but we really do need to take stock, because we want to make sure that our club is functioning and that we can both attract the new members but also retain the ones that we have. And now is an opportune time to take stock of the club, and we have seen a lot of clubs, I think, during this time, beginning to evaluate how they currently operate, what their connection is to the local and the international communities. And we do need to take an objective look to see what we're doing well, what areas we can improve on. And so there are a couple of things that you can do. You can just, have these kind of conversations. We can have club forums. The club also can do a Rotary Club health check as well, which is pretty quick and easy exercise. It's usually undertaken by the board first, but it starts these conversations happening. And you know, a vibrant club also needs to meet the current members' needs as well. And so the best way of doing that is really to ask our members, you know, what it is that they actually want. We also know when we, you know, had a look at some of the top membership drivers. So the top membership driver is community service. So now might be a great time for us to be reviewing the projects that we're currently doing. And, you know, if we aren't active in our local communities, it's probably unlikely that we're going to attract new members. And if we do, we may lose them quickly. And I think many clubs are also, you know, have been looking at their projects at this time, you know, to see what it is that they can either pivot or how else can they support their community. Another thing to have a look at is to see whether or not your club reflects the community. And we do know from the research that the strongest and the most effective clubs are the ones that are reflecting the demographics of the communities that they're serving. That really means that, you know, these clubs have got a wider range of skills, they've got more resources, and they've got an increasing capacity to come up with creative solutions. So I would evaluate the diversity in your club in terms of a number of things. So classification, that, you know, this has been the basis of Rotary, you know, forever, and it still has a place. So having a look at the business and the professional makeup to make sure that, you know, that we are diverse. Having a look at a gender balance or ethnic balance or age, and comparing it to what we know about our local areas as well. How do we compare if we're looking at, say, Bureau of Statistics, you know, statistics for the area? You can also run a number of membership reports out of My Rotary and Rotary Club Central. And again, I think, you know, this is to give you a more accurate picture of your club's trends, because sometimes, like, for example, I have a club that came to me and said, oh, I want to increase my membership. We want to, you know, attract new members. But when we ran the reports, attraction wasn't that wasn't the problem. When we had a look at their, you know, at their statistics, it was the retention. And so that was something that they decided that they wanted to focus on. So the second strategy is to create a vision and to have a plan. And, you know, if you don't have a vision or a strategic plan, now really is a good time to, you know, to be thinking about that. But think about what it is that you want the club to look like in the immediate future. You know, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? What makes you unique? What's your identity? You know, we hear this talk about value proposition. It really is about, you know, why do people want to join you and why would they want to stay? And that's really, you know, forming part of your strategic plan. So once you've created that vision, you do need to have a membership plan. And the membership plan needs to take into account those two sides of the coin, so both attraction and retention. But you do need to have a strategy. So just asking people who you know to join your club really isn't a strong membership development plan. And what I liked last year, President, you know, past President Mark Maloney said, don't think about who you know, but think about who is missing. So this really also is really coming back to these, you know, club assessments as well. So thirdly, you know, think about attraction. And when Rotary International sent out a survey to clubs, 43% of clubs said that attraction was their biggest challenge. So that is really on people's minds. But as I mentioned, we do need to be strategic and we need to identify ideal prospective members. So members who are going to be a good fit for our club. Ask your members to complete the identifying prospective members worksheet that we have at Rotary International, at least once a year. And so that at least gets people thinking about providing names or details of people that they think is a good fit. But you can also consider people such as alumni or past speakers or friends of Rotary, people who we normally deal with, but we never follow up with. Have a look at your community and your service contacts and what other similar organisations are you working with? Are there people there that would be willing to join the Rotary family? If you're wanting to do a project, look for any professional gaps that you might need to fill in order to undertake that project. Invite potential members also to work on projects or socials. So not just meetings. And we know that from the research that is particularly important for younger professionals. Younger professionals want to get their hands dirty. They want to work on projects. They're not as interested as coming to meetings. And make sure that we have a welcoming environment, even if it is online. I felt very welcomed, and so I know that you also are welcoming all of your guests. And another thing to consider is to follow up on any membership leads that come through to your club from people who've expressed interest in joining by clicking on the join button on the Rotary International website, so on rotary.org. So you may not regularly receive leads like this, but when you do, it is important to follow up on those interested people, because after all, those people, they already know about Rotary and they're interested to get involved. So they really are these low-hanging fruit, which we shouldn't let them get away. We need to follow up with them. And so lastly, retention. So that, we do need to keep in mind that when we're talking about membership, attraction really is only one piece of the puzzle. And in fact, the membership journey starts way before a prospective member even walks through our door or, comes online to a meeting. And it continues on way after this person becomes a member. And retention, as we've seen in those statistics, really is just important, if not arguably more important than attraction. And again, the most vulnerable people that are leaving our organisation are the members who've joined in those first 1 to 2 years. So having a structured new member orientation program is really vital. Other things that you can do is offer mentoring or pathways to leadership. So not only for our new members, but for members who've been with our club for a number of years. Promote and invite members into the wider Rotary opportunities that are available, like going to district conference or going to RI convention, or perhaps joining a fellowship or an action group. And as I mentioned, regularly checking in with our members to see if the club is meeting their needs. You can send out a member satisfaction survey, for example. If members do leave, consider things like doing an exit survey or asking, district perhaps or somebody outside of the club to help with exit survey, so that we can get some real information about the real reasons why people may have left. And lastly, consider flexibility. And I think COVID has forced our clubs to contemplate the benefits of flexibility. And it's something which RI has been encouraging for quite a number of years. And this is not only to, benefit our current members, but also it can make our club more attractive to prospective members. So think about things like meeting format and meeting frequency, attendance, alternative membership types, or the possibility of, starting something new, say a satellite club. So they're my 4 tips for strengthening membership in your club, and a couple of things that basic things that you might be able to do. So hopefully tonight I've just given you a bit of food for thought about growing membership. If you did want to take a further dive, I would suggest that you have a look on the Rotary.org website. And for those of you who already know and are regular users of Rotary.org, that My Rotary has been down. It's in maintenance mode, and it hopefully will come back even better this Wednesday or Thursday. But I just would encourage you to have a look at a lot of the resources that are available. Perhaps take an online course, which can be really fun and interesting. And you're always, more than welcome to contact like me in the office if you have any questions or you want to talk about your particular circumstances as well. So there are my contact details there if you do need to contact me. So I guess before I finish, is there any questions, I guess?
Okay. President Rad, do you have questions?
Can you go first, President
Yeah.
Dave?
Actually, Director Barbara, we prepared some questions beforehand to facilitate, because it's evening right here in the Philippines. Well, one of the first few questions referred to the My Rotary website. Okay, like how to create a Rotary account, how to update club details, and so on and so forth. But I believe I was informed that the My Rotary website is down or something.
That's right. Yeah, My Rotary has been in maintenance mode for a number of days now. It should come back up on Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was scheduled for Wednesday in Chicago time, so it's probably a bit later for us. And I mean, that has been, the upgrade is mostly related to making the website more user-friendly, especially for the club and district administration pages. So a lot of that, adding and terminating members, and club officers and so forth. There's also been some changes to the profile as well, your own personal profile, and how you get in contact with other Rotarians as well. I guess if anybody does have questions about how to register for My Rotary and updating membership data, you can always contact our office, and there are also we also can send out some guides, how-to guides as well, which have been updated since the new upgrade. Yeah.
So it's being upgraded. So what's new about it? What can we look forward to when it's up? Probably on August 12th, I believe.
Yes. That's right.
Would you have some information on that?
Yeah. So it will be easier for people to mostly in the club and district administration pages, so easier for people to add members or delete members or add officers, and as well there's more there's better ways for you to contact other Rotarians via your profile, and also for you to manage your privacy settings as well. Yes.
Or maybe take out the delete button, so there's no more. So we don't decrease our membership, probably.
Yeah.
Just
that would be very helpful. Yes.
President Randy, would you have other questions?
Dave, I have a question.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Dave.
Pacific Governor Yumi, yes.
Oh, yeah. I had a question earlier in the chat. I was asking, why was it that we lost emphasis on classification and vocational service? Because let me explain. You mentioned earlier that vibrancy is an important factor in a successful club. And vibrancy, to me, means diversity. The more diverse the membership, the better. Rotary is the only club or organization, very unique, that we have a classification. In other social civic organizations, they don't. We'll just take in any members from any field. In our one Rotary Club, we're supposed to have one from each classification or from interest or a business or a profession. You mentioned earlier the top 3. And if I remember right, that is top 3 reasons why Rotarians remain in a club. No, it's local service, established connections, and was it fellowship or self-improvement?
Fellowship.
I would rather think that these are more indirect reasons, because the underlying reason behind all of this, I would think, is being able to contribute from your classification, your business, or your interest. Because come to think of it, you're all, the reality dictates pragmatically that, we all ask, what's in it for me? In Rotary, what's in it for me? So it has to be what your interests are. So if you are able to contribute through your profession, your business, or your interest, whatever you're interested in, then that club becomes very active. You become very active because you're interested in contributing. And the more diverse the membership, the more activities the club has and the more vibrant it is. Now, my question is, why is it that Rotary is now, forgot about vocational service and classification, which is, I think, the unique factor in Rotary compared to other organizations? That's my question.
I think that was a that's a great observation, Peter Giumi, and I feel that Rotary International hasn't lost the emphasis that classification has, and as you say, classification, Rotary clubs have been based on classifications for many times, for very long, and that has always been one of our strong points, is that we have been very diverse in our classifications. And I don't think it has actually diminished in a sense, because if we look at the Standard Rotary Club Constitution, the sections that are about classification still remain there, and they aren't one of the ones that you can actually have something in your bylaws to contravene, in the same way it could be for membership types or attendance or so forth. So classification really has still remained very strong in terms of the basis of our clubs. I think it is getting people to think about the benefits of having strong classifications, like being diverse, in the same way that we need to be diverse in other areas as well. So I would say that no, we haven't really lost our emphasis on classification. I think we probably are emphasizing diversity in other ways, because those types of diversity that we haven't been very diverse in that sense.
All right. President Randy, would you have other questions?
Yes, President Dave. This concerns with the Rotary clubs, which are considered now in the same level of Rotary clubs. We have some Rotary actors also in this Zoom meeting. Barbara, we would like to know if there is still a need for a district Rotary representative, and will there be a Rotary convention, a joint Rotary convention for Rotary and the Rotary?
I'm not 100% sure about that. I know that they are still, sort of working at the details about how it's going to work in the future. So I think it is more of this watch this space. I would say I'm not 100% up to date on those kind of issues. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I can't really answer that off the top of my head. No.
Okay. Any more, President Randy?
Yeah, a question, a concern also is that they would like to know what are the requirements for a member resigning from other clubs to transfer to another club?
Yes. Okay. So if a member wants to transfer to another club, the usual process that is outlined in the manual procedure and in the Standard Rotary Club Constitution is basically the club that the member is transferring to needs to contact the old club and ask for a letter of good financial standing, which we do have a like a pro forma for that. So it's up to the old club to fill that in and say whether or not that member has any outstanding debts. If the club doesn't hear back within, I think, 30 days, then it is assumed that that club is that member is fine, doesn't have any outstanding debts, and then it's up to the new club to go through their membership process. So it really is up to them to decide whether or not that member they would like to induct that member to their club. Just because they are a transferring member doesn't mean that they have automatic, they will automatically transfer across into a new club.
Okay.
President Lee?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, one question was already asked by past District Governor Yumi with regard to the classification. Now, in the issue of senior active members, I was a member. I became part of Rotary in 1998 or 1999, and back then there was this classification, or there was this class of membership called senior active members. But over the years, basically the senior actives have became more inactive and have been dropped from the clubs. And as in your presentation, Barbara, alumni are the best sources of members to be retained or to be back to Rotary. And that special class of members, the senior actives, since that has been eliminated, we basically alienated a certain section of demographics who are the ones who have the time and the money. So what can you say about that? About whether there will be a relaxed type of membership for senior actives or for certain groups of alumni? What can you say about that?
I think the question also probably relates to, I think maybe the perceived emphasis on Rotary International for attracting younger members. And I know that a number of people have sort of mentioned that to me to say, Rotary International is only looking at attracting younger members. We're alienating a lot of our either sort of retired demographic. I think in that sense, I just wanted to say that younger people really have been an underrepresented demographic. So it's more about just, opening up the door of who Rotary has traditionally been available to. And so that is why we have kind of, probably emphasized younger people in the sense, and also women as well, because traditionally, those kind of people haven't been able to be part of the Rotary family. But Rotary International is definitely not discrediting or any, for example, recent retiree. Like that is a great demographic, because exactly like you say, that demographic has got the time and they have got the resources, and they want to give back at a time in their lives that they are able to in ways that perhaps a younger professional can't. So in terms of the senior active, what I would just say is that, the flexibility that we have now since the council on the past couple of council legislations, clubs are able to create, a membership type that may be more suitable for a recent retiree. There is nothing to stop a club creating a membership type that may make it more attractive. And because of, say, for example, we have relaxed attendance as well. We do still also have the kind of 85 rule, if you're going by the Standard Rotary Club Constitution, the sort of the suggested membership rules that that allows people who have been Rotarians for a long time of a certain age also to relax to relax the attendance as well. So yeah.
Okay. All right. There's yes, President Randy.
No, I don't have any questions, so maybe we can
No.
You
What?
have another one?
Yeah, I do have a number one. I'm a bit busy these days. No, another question is about the because of the new normal, and any Rotarian who has been with the Rotary for like 3, 4, 5 years, fellowship is the lifeblood of Rotary clubs, of Rotary membership. And with the new normal, what's your experience in other clubs, especially in Australia or New Zealand, about having to get over the hump of the limitation of having to of not having to have the fellowship that we used to do? So in your experience, what have you seen in clubs to address the fellowship issue, the fellowship aspect of membership?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Vice President Dave. I think that we have seen clubs being more creative in terms of the fellowship as well. So it might be simple things like, for example, if they are having online meetings, it could be at just at the very beginning, or staying on after a meeting just to to chat and to have a drink together. There was a funny example of a club in Melbourne in Australia where this club would normally go camping over Semana Santa, like over the Easter weekend, and they would go camping together. And so what they decided to do was to set up their tents in their backyards, and they they still went camping, but just online at home, having a few drinks around their barbecue. So that that was really a fun thing that that they have done. Other things that we have seen is like alternating different meeting types. So instead of having a formal meeting every time, perhaps having 1 week a formal meeting, and then the next week just being social, and if it is just going online and chatting, or exchanging, or or just having telephone conversations and so forth. I mean, yeah, it is difficult in trying to come up with some fun and interesting things that for people to do. But things like, for example, I've seen clubs have just a Netflix party, so people are watching a movie online that they have voted. I think there are different ways to be social that we do need to get used to, and doing things a little bit differently. Yeah.
So basically, it's about creativity, innovation.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
I guess that's about for the questions.
Hi, Dave. Dave, I got one more question. Hi, Barbara.
All right. Good.
Hi, this is Raina. I got one more question regarding about the membership. Are there a specific qualities or requirements the Rotary is looking for new members, just in general?
Yeah, definitely. People who are community minded, and basically, who are wanting to give back. I think that it is very. I think the thing with the membership is that we need to be looking for people who are going to be a good fit for our club. Sometimes a person can be maybe a great Rotarian, but they perhaps might not be suitable for a particular club. That doesn't make them less of a Rotarian or not. I think if, for example, we have a prospective member that comes and has, great potential, perhaps maybe not able to fit into your own club, but, but to be upfront about that, and also maybe to suggest another nearby club that may be more suitable as well. So I think that's just as important as thinking of the sort of broader the broader picture of somebody who is a leader, who is a change maker, who wants to give back. And that the actual requirements for being a Rotarian has been relaxed over the last number of years, the last number of council legislations as well. So it isn't as restrictive as it used to be in the past. It is more about, more about that ethos of community service, community-minded people.
All right. Okay.
I see. Got it.
Okay.
President
And
Dave,
good.
I can ask one more question. Is that fine? Is that fine?
All right. Okay. We'll have one last, then we'll move on. All right. Go ahead.
Good evening, Ms. Barbara. I am President-elect Burns Amago. I just like to clarify on the matter of retention. When you see retention of members, should we look at the number of members in a particular year, or is it particularly to a specific person that the member has to stay? Otherwise, even if you're able to maintain the same number when you started your club for the year, that would be deemed complied with if at the end of the year you will still have the same number, or does it really have to be the person for it to be considered the member has the retention has been achieved?
Sorry, in what way do you mean? Like
Say, for example, A and B are members. If B decided to be out of the club, but then C is admitted, so you still have two members, does that mean that you have complied with retention? I just want to clarify that matter.
Well, no, actually, because the way that Rotary International looks at retention, we're looking at new member. Actually, if you run the there's a report that you can run out of Rotary Club Central, but basically, we're looking at new member retention and also existing member retention as a percentage. So looking at, okay, if this new member joined this year, have they stayed all of this year? That's new member retention. We've got existing members. Have they left? Have they not left? So I think it's more looking at, yes, the retention rates, the percentages, rather than a net gain and a net loss. Because those statistics, when we talk about 70% of people who leave within the first 1 to 2 years or whatever, I mean, yeah, we're not just talking about net gains, because if we look in general, like in the Philippines, for example, we do have net gain, but if we're looking at retention, then that's a different issue. I mean, think about if we can increase our retention, like how much higher our numbers will actually be, and because we're working twice as hard to get new members to be able to, fill in who we're leaving through the back door. So that's why, I'd be looking more at the retention rates as well as, what your net gain and your net loss is. Yeah.
All right. In connection with that just an administrative matter, Barbara, there's a question here about when members should be deleted so that they will not appear in the July invoice. Some housekeeping in the club.
I guess the main thing that I really want to emphasize here is that we, from Rotary International point of view, where the numbers are, we're comparing 1st of July numbers to 1st of July numbers. So we're not comparing, 1st of July to 30th of June, as in this part, and then, this part. This is, you really need to be thinking about membership, not within, if you're the president, for example, did I have a net gain in my year, or is it a net loss? Really, and according to the RR rules as well, we should be reporting the membership additions and terminations as they're happening, so within 30 days. And that's really to stop this whole thing of, coming up to 30th of June, either terminating members or adding members. Sorry?
Yeah. Just like sandbagging.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So it's basically once there's a new member or a member deletion, it should be within 30 days. So that's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
And
Okay.
it isn't, yeah. And then also to helps you, like in your clubs, to know to go to have the barometer of like what's happening. Like, don't wait until 30th of June. If you're seeing that your numbers, for example, you're losing your members, you need to be doing something about it now. Like, don't wait until the end of the year. It's something that you constantly need to be on top of and looking and asking, you know, how your members are feeling. Like, are they happy? Are they not? You know, a lot of members are thinking if they're going to leave, they'll be like, okay, well, I'm paid up until the 30th of June. I'll just wait until then. Well, I think we need to be more proactive about that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I guess that's about it. Now for I was tasked to come up with a summary. I'm doing overtime now. Okay. So bear with me a little bit more time. Now, on the question of the My Rotary website, it's been mentioned that it's currently down. It's undergoing maintenance and it's undergoing upgrade. So it will be up probably by next week or August 12. I was informed in the chat box. And in the issue on the absence of classification as a requirement for membership, this was asked by past District Governor Yumi. Now, it has not been diminished in as far as Rotary International is concerned. It's still in the Constitution, but the implementation would depend on the club. It's going to be dependent on how the club will implement the diversity aspect of membership. And also on the issue of the Rotary Act being almost in the same in terms of age and membership requirement. There's Barbara has no information with regards to that. So on the issue of transfer of membership, there has to be a clearance of some sort from one club to the other, and it would be the receiving club who will process the membership, whether they will accept or they will reject. Okay, and also in the issue of diversification, the senior active members are not really given. Well, focus is more on the young and the women members, but not to the detriment of the other types of membership, the senior actives and the 40-ish types of members. Fellowship, well, it just depends on the innovative spirit of each club, how they can come up with fellowship activities in the new normal virtually, because we have to practice social distancing. So it would depend on the creativity of the club, the dynamism of each club. And also on the question of the requirements or the qualifications to become a member, there are no strict qualifications of being members, just a desire to be able to give back to the community and having the time and the inclination and probably also the resources and a little bit of good looks. You can be so those are soft requirements to being a Rotarian. On the issue of membership retention, it's not just the numbers, but basically it's about retaining the correct set of, as opposed to net gain or net loss. It's about retaining the same type of members, the same members, moving on to the following Rotary years, and new recruits staying for more than 3 years. So it's not the net gain or the net loss issue, but retaining, being in the same club for quite a number of years and being of service for a number of years. So I guess that summarizes the questions and the answers in tonight's activity. So President Rad, it's your turn.
Yes, I would like to thank Barbara to show our appreciation for being our guest speaker tonight. The club would like to present a token. So the Cebu Fuente Rotary Club gives this certificate of appreciation. It's presented to Barbara Misok for her invaluable time and resources as guest speaker at the 5th Rotary Club Cebu Fuente General Membership Meeting, given this 10th day of August 2020 via Zoom. We'll be mailing the hard copy to you, Barbara. Signed, Polly Jang, our secretary, and Emmanuel Tesalona, the president.
President Radi, I have a question. Will you be mailing the flowers as well? So I guess we have to decrease our membership dues because we won't be eating and we won't be buying flowers as much. All right.
Thank you. I'll like.
So again, on behalf of the Rotary Club Cebu Fuente, Barbara, thank you so much.
We have our president's time. President Emmy, this is your time.
Okay. For the President's time, I would like to reiterate the invitation of the district to attend the TRF Fundraising and Grant Management Seminar that will be on August 15, 2020 via Zoom. Registration is still ongoing. Okay, hurry up, register now. Again, thank you very much, Barbara, for accepting our invitation to be our guest speaker in this forum. Thank
President
you,
Emmy.
Yeah.
President Emmy, just like to acknowledge also the presence of immediate past district governor Philip Tan.
Okay. Good evening, past district governor Philip Tan. Thank you, Governor Rizal, district governor nominee Ana, and other district officers for gracing the occasion. Thank you very much. My classmates, the transforming presidents, thank you very much. Members of our sister clubs and the Rotary Club of Cebu Puente Rotaractors, thank you also. So tonight, we have learned so much. I hope this meeting broadened our horizon in managing membership. Any other topics to be discussed? There being none, I would like to adjourn this meeting. Fellowship continues.
Nagmamadali.
Fellowship ka agad, no?
So if we can take the
Thank you. Thank you.
photos with everyone.
Barbara, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, everybody. I really enjoyed listening to you.
What time is it now in Sydney?
11 o'clock. 11
Oh,
p.m.
it's near your bedtime.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but you're nocturnal. I catch you at 2 in the morning sometimes.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's true. That must mean you are too. So that's okay.
So you'll be hearing a lot from
Can we
all of
take
us.
a
So
gallery
we'll have a
photo?
group picture, Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Group picture.
Definitely. Yeah.
Group picture. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, out na ko kay
Thank
mag-room.
you.
Thank you for the invitation, President Emmy. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Everyone.
Anna.
Oh.
Thank you. Good
Thank you,
looking.
Govbean. Thank you for
Hi,
the
thank you,
invitation.
Ann. Mother, thank you.
Thank you.
Go,
Thank you
please.
all.
Good night.
Thank you,
Good night.
RC Cebu
Thank you.
Fuente, for having us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Janelle.
Thank you. Hi, Sir
Thank you
Emmy.
so much.
Hi,
Thank
classmates.
you. Ricky, thank you for coming.
Yes, God, thank you for the invitation. Thank you, Press Emmy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Barbara.
Hi, Ed, Father, thank you.
Alright, thank you. God.
Mother, thank you, Mother, all the way from Clark. Thank you for coming. Kai Kai.
Thank you. Thank you.
Barbara, thank you very much.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, President.
Okay.
Too. Thank you to do it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye,
Good night.
It's okay
Barbara.
to leave. It's nighttime now. Bye, Barbara.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Stay safe, Barbara.
Bye. Thanks again.
Thank you. Wala na si Barbara.